Hello, and welcome to the Sealark channel. Today is November 1st, the day after Halloween, which means it's my mom's birthday. Happy birthday, Mom. Aside from that, today, let's talk about some spooky things. A little Plato's Allegory of the Cave, existentialism, nihilism, and then let's talk about how meaning making is so important to your creativity and how to absolve yourself maybe if you are feeling some of those dark questions of whether there's any meaning or purpose and how can you create. If that sounds interesting, I hope you'll enjoy this video. Maybe you could subscribe if you're not, or I'm on social media as Robin Sealark. Let's go. That's some spooky ghost noises. So I happen to be very lucky to be living with a lovely boyfriend named Alan, who's very smart. He works in software development now, but he did his bachelor's in philosophy and economics. So we were talking about the Allegory of the Cave recently. I remember learning and hearing this story, maybe you have as well. I do not remember receiving the this beautiful nugget of information from it that I did while I was talking to Alan. In the Allegory of the Cave, there is a group of people in a cave. They're facing the wall of the cave, and they can't see anything behind them of the rest of the world. The only things that they see on that wall are shadows from the outside world that the fire casts. So their whole experience with the world is looking at shadows, just a portion of what the rest of life is. Eventually, when they get forced out of the cave, they have a very important moment they have to face. These people, they spend their whole life looking at life as just a shadow of what the bigger picture is, and now they're either going to have to make the decision to go forge new meaning and discover, to go back into the cave and look at shadows on the wall the way they once did, or they could go back in and shout angrily, thinking about what could have been if they had just been released sooner. The important choices is what they're going to do. Well, when I relate that to my own life, I think about times when I lost meaning or community or understanding. For me, that led me to a very dark, sad, depressed spot because of feelings of existentialism, not knowing what meaning is, why am I here, what's my purpose, and also nihilism, which in communities I've seen it has shown up as people thinking that life is just meaningless and you can kind of do whatever you want to forge meaning. But for me, that was kind of depressing. I found myself feeling like there was no purpose to suffering, and that was massively sad for me. You enjoying the video? This is Noka. Everyone get cozy? That's a good spot. When Alan was a philosophy student, his teacher really emphasized that decisive moment where those in the Allegory of the Cave had to choose meaning in their life, what they were going to do with their circumstances. It is very easy to critique the rest of the world around you and to tear things down and say why they're not right or stupid or useless, but what's actually very hard is creating meaning or a new system or way of looking at things. Our conversation, me and Alan, really focused on how extrapolating meaning is a hard process, very much not lazy. It's also a very creative process. So if you're a creative person and you're finding yourself in a place where you feel like there's no meaning and you don't know how to create meaning, that's likely going to make you feel stunted in how much you can create from your artistic creativity. Just to know these things doesn't solve the problem, but I do think it's a helpful step in recognizing part of the problem and a step that you can take, like those in the Allegory of the Cave, to greet what you've been given and make a choice from it and choose to make something out of it rather than being lost in what has been lost. This is pretty simple, straightforward as an idea, But with it, I think that there's a challenge you and I can take away to look at ourselves through the allegory of the cave when we're in moments where we feel meaningless or depressed, nihilistic, existential, and think, how can I be a creator here, an artist, and make something of this? How do I create meaning? And in your artwork, that's the deepest search we can do. How can you create something that connects with other people? And the more you're willing to exercise that power to look for and create meaning in your life after your own dark, shadowy cave moments is going to be very pivotal. Deciding how to build and create and meaning make. Therein lies some of the most magical, exciting, important things that you can do, and something that you as an artist, I think, should be thinking about. This is my extended challenge to you to maybe consider how this could apply to yourself and what you are making, what you want to make out of life, what your interest is in creating value and meaning out of your existence. If y'all have any thoughts, I would love to hear them in the comments. It is great to be on YouTube and interacting again. Find me online at Robin Sealark or buy a painting at robinsealark.com. And hopefully if you're subscribed or just get recommended me, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.